How you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you and giving you tips on a couple stuff to do to the motor before you put it on your bike, before you turn it on and all that good stuff. And let's get right into the video. Alright, so for this video you will need either some scissors or wire cutters or anything to cut some wires. You're gonna need a number 10 with an extension and a number 8. You can use the same extension, it don't matter. So first things first, can you see this throttle right here? How hard it is? It even stays open. It's like really hard. Look, it stays open. Well, there's a 10 millimeter bolt that is holding everything right in the middle. Let me try to show you guys. It's gonna be this one right here, next to the hose. It's kind of tough to show you, but it's gonna be this bolt right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Big bolt right in the middle. So you're gonna want to loosen that so the throttle is a little bit looser and it doesn't get stuck wide open and you don't have that problem. So we're gonna get a 10 millimeter. We're gonna get a 10 millimeter socket right here. You're gonna put it on that bolt, and you still want that nut on there. You just want to loosen it a little bit, and then kind of play with the throttle so you kind of know how much you need. Alright, so that's enough. Look at that. It goes back. It's free. It doesn't get stuck no more. Look at that. Boom. Perfect. So that's what we're looking for. So that's tip number 1. Alright guys. Tip number 2, you're gonna take out basically the oil pump. You're gonna take off basically what is called an oil pump, which is this little guy right here. Is a 8 millimeter, and that's basically when you're riding your bike and the oil is moving a lot in there. That's basically gonna shut the bike or shut the engine because it's moving too much oil front and back or just all over the place. So while you're riding your bike, you don't want your bike turning off because all the oil is moving in there. So we're gonna take that off, and you're also gonna snip the yellow and the black wire, and I'll show you which ones right now. So let's take it off real quick. You can still keep it on there as long as you cut the wires, you're fine. It's basically a little sensor. So we're gonna take it off for a nicer look. Boom. And the wires you're gonna cut is the yellow one all the way to the bottom, and this bottom black one. Not the ones on top that connect to the button. No, the bottom one. Now this next tip, I didn't really recommend it because it depends if your little ones are going to be riding the bike. This is basically loosening the governor, and this basically gives you, it's a little screw that doesn't give you the maximum gas, so the maximum power. You could tighten that screw for less power for your little one, or whoever. You'll be reducing the power if you tighten it, and if you let it go, obviously you're giving it more gas. The gas lever can actually go a little bit farther, so you're getting the most out of your bike if you unscrew it. So depending on who's riding it, here's how to loosen the governor. So it's gonna be on the gas lever. It's gonna be the little screw right here, right in the middle. Just gonna grab it and you're gonna loosen it. Now, I suggest you do this while riding, because now, if you give it too much, if you're riding, then you control how much gas, and you don't want to go to that extent of like losing the whole bolt, and you bogging out. So I suggest you adjust this while you're driving and see how much gas more or less you're allowed to give it without bogging. For the next tip, is basically your whole motor from factory, it does not come with oil or gas obviously. So I say you should buy a 4T motorcycle oil. So I bought a 10W40, which this is what this motor takes, and I bought 1 quart. So a little tip is basically you're gonna put 16 ounces of this oil in. You're gonna run the motor for like 30 minutes or so, and then you're gonna do an oil change. And you're gonna put the rest of the 16 ounces, and you're gonna be good to go to ride until your next oil change. The first 16 ounces is more for a break-in. So and if you don't know, you put your oil through here or through this other orange one, and you empty out your oil from this little bolt right here. Now, for those who didn't know, to run on a mini bike, you're obviously gonna use this shaft right here. But guess what? If you're wondering why doesn't it have anything on there to put to the chain so the mini bike moves and runs on its own, this is what you gotta buy from eBay. It was like $42, $43 with the chain and the clutch. So boom, this little box that just broke, you're gonna get the clutch, which should look like this, a clutch with actual teeth, so the chain runs on it, and obviously the bike can move on its own. You're gonna get the clutch. Depending on the clutch, you're gonna get 2 Allen bolts right here, so the clutch doesn't fall out of the shaft. And with that, you're also gonna get your chain right here. Boom. That's a master link, so it's not riveted, so you could cut the chain, make it as long as you want, as short as you want. So this whole thing cost me about $40, $42, $43. So this is what you need. And obviously you buy it for your motor. You put the specifications on eBay or wherever you want to buy it from for your motor. I bought it for a 212, so obviously it fits. It has like a little, if you see this little indent right here with this thing falling out, inside here, I don't know if you can see it well, on the top you can see that little indent, and that's how you're gonna run it, and it's not gonna move. So that's also another thing you need to run this motor on your mini bike. Now the last tip I have for you guys is basically the motor is gonna be looking that way, so the mini bike is going this way, the clutch is on this side with the chain, and the motor is looking that way. I mean the mini bike is looking forward. So obviously you're not gonna start up your motor yanking to the front, so we're gonna have to switch this to the back, so it has a better position for you to start your mini bike. You're gonna take your 8mm bolts, take them off, you're gonna rotate this piece so you gotta have a better position to start your motor. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so those are the little things. You guys can do to your motor before you put it on the frame, so it runs faster and all that. So hope you guys learned something, and we're just one step closer to putting in the frame. So stay tuned for that, and then just subscribe, comment, like, and share. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Stay tuned for more because we're gonna be putting on the frame next video. So stay tuned.